Eli Lilly reporting results in the last hour. The drug maker earning $1.50 a share for the second quarter, 5 cents above estimates. Revenue also came in above. Lilly raised its full-year earnings forecast. Joining us now, David Ricks, CEO of Eli Lilly. In addition to the myriad regulatory and government issues, you've also had to navigate through the loss of some of the best-known drugs in the world in recent years. And in fact, David, you probably saw the Pfizer and Mylan news, and I read the drugs that Pfizer had lost exclusivity on. It's like, what do you do? And with you, it's the same story here. Zyprexa, Cymbalta, Cialis, all going off patent in recent years. You got to replace those. How's it going?
Well, it's going well, and that is part of our business, Joe, that after a period of time, products become very cheap in our industry. What we need to do is invent new things at a faster rate than we lose those patents. And that's exactly what's happening at Eli Lilly now. We've launched 9 new products in the last 5 years. And despite the fact that in this quarter, Q2, we're bearing the full force of Cialis' patent expiry, we grew the top line, and we grew it in a high-quality way. That's because the science is flowing. New innovations are coming forward for patients, and we're having great success in getting those to doctors to help treat serious disease. In
the current quarter, people had some... we're watching closely for the new migraine drug. What did the results show? Will they be pleased?
Yeah, Emgality is our newest migraine drug. We launched it last fall, and this is an area where there really has been no new solutions for what are primarily working-age women who experience chronic migraines and episodic migraines, some as many as 7 to 16 a month in our studies. Can you imagine that? These new medicines, new class of medicines, we have one, Emgality, really arrest that, and in our studies showed about a reduction of 50% in those migraines. We launched third, but we're already almost at the market leader, capturing 40% of the new patients coming into this market, which is growing rapidly as patients are seeing this as a great solution to manage this serious condition. So good performance. Of course, it's early. Revenue was just above $30 million in the U.S. and growing rapidly. The key here is to get this new class to as many doctors as we can in primary care where this condition's treated, and that's what we're investing in.
Some analysts think that your cancer offerings, after some recent acquisitions, underappreciated. Did you speak to that in the current quarter?
Perhaps so. We acquired a few companies in the last year, a company called Armo in 2018, and then in January, Loxo Oncology. In particular, this recent acquisition, Loxo, we're extremely excited about. First, the lead asset, so-called Loxo 292, it addresses an underlying driver of cancer growth in lung cancer and thyroid. That data will be coming out in the second half of this year, and we plan to submit to the FDA in November. It already has a breakthrough designation and launch in 2020. That's really the key to making that acquisition work for us. But the other asset that's come forward and is advancing into phase 1 is also very exciting. This is for lymphoma. So this acquisition, which for us was really a move into precision oncology, where now you're not so concerned about where the tumor is happening in your body, but why it's growing. And this company has really defined this field by creating medicines that directly address the underlying cause of the cancer growth, really precision oncology. So we're becoming a leader in that space. We're very excited about it.
Stock's been down for the year. All the drug stocks are down for the year. Barbarians are at the gate, I think, in D.C. and President Trump, et cetera. We're going to have Secretary Azar on later today. If you've got some suggested questions or if you have some concerns, I'll voice them for you. But most recently, do you read Eli Lilly's blog, Andrew? It's called the Lilly Pad.
Yes.
The Lilly Pad. Anyway, HR 107 could make it. You actually saw the need to actually respond to that proposed legislation. What would that mean if Medicaid caps were changed and whether it was retroactive or not for Part B?
Yeah, well, first of all, there's a lot of ideas in the field right now, maybe too many ideas. We come back to the core principles of the key issue in the U.S. is not the growing cost of medicines to the healthcare system. In fact, this quarter we're reporting now, our net price dropped 4% again. We've had a series of quarters in a row where net pricing is dropping. We're growing volume through that by reaching more patients. The real issue is the out-of-pocket costs at the pharmacy counter due to bad benefit design. So one idea we like quite a bit is the Senate package that it proposes to put a cap on Part D out-of-pocket expenses. Part D is the senior program for retail drugs. It's one of the few insurances out there that doesn't have an out-of-pocket cap. That's a good idea. But there's lots of bad ideas, including the one you just mentioned, which would propose to have companies whose drugs are used by states, in some cases, have to pay states to use their drugs. So that the rebate we'd be putting back into the system would exceed the current cap, which is 100% of our list price. That, to me, doesn't sound like something that would promote innovation into that sector, and it sounds punitive. So we're for ideas that help patients when they go to the counter, particularly seniors, get relief on what is a growing problem in bad insurance design. Too much patient responsibility, not enough coverage by the insurance company. When you pay a premium and you get sick, you expect to be shielded from the cost. Actually, the reverse is happening now. Many seniors and others are paying more into the system than those that are well are paying in, and that's not fair.
You know,
so
David,
that's our focus.
Joe mentioned barbarians at the gate, and I mean, he's not joking. I mean, how under attack do you feel your company is, your industry is? I mean, it's not just HR 107. It's also this recent report that the president is considering an executive order that would cut virtually all the prices of prescription drugs sold to Medicaid. And also, you have Bernie Sanders over the weekend comparing pharma executives to murderers for raising prices. I mean, this is an environment that is spooking investors. So what can you tell us about the relationship that you're having with not just this administration, but also some of these candidates? Have they knocked on your door? Are you reaching out? What are you trying to do to help them understand your perspective?
Well, I think as an industry and personally, I can say we spend a lot of time working on solutions to these problems. There's a lot of rhetoric in the air, and most of it non-productive, including the comments you just alluded to here. The issue in our country is not the cost of medications to the healthcare system. 15% of the healthcare dollar goes to drugs. We could cap that forever, and what we get is less innovation and still have growing healthcare costs. What we need to do is work on out-of-pocket costs for those patients who need innovative medicines. And some of the proposals, the ones we're focused on, could in fact do that. So we agree it's time for change, and we agree that patients need relief in the cost of medications. We don't agree with the rhetoric, and we certainly don't agree with a lot of the solutions, quote unquote, being put out there. We have our own ideas, and we're trying to progress them. It's, of course, an important topic. That all said, there's never been a better time in my 23-year career in the industry to invent new things and advance science for the good of patients with serious disease. We talked about a number of those products today. So we have this strange bipolar world of incredible breakthroughs, real challenge on the value side. I think there's a way forward. I'm an optimist, but certainly it's busy times right now.
So Cialis, sales down 90% in the U.S. So what, those advertisements, those were my favorite. We were talking about them earlier. There's like his and her bathtubs on a hill.
But why not?
Why
not bathtub for two?
Well, that happens later because if you remember, both bathtubs are empty at the end of the.
So they've stepped out of the bathtub, presumably.
Stepped out of the bathtub, but those are gone. Why advertise?
Sadly, Joe, those are retired. Yeah,
they're retired. They're retired.
And this is something lost in this price debate. If I could just get it in, is the cost of Cialis at the pharmacy counter, or generic Cialis, is a fraction, a single-digit fraction of what it was before. Drug costs do go down.
They do.
It's the only part of the healthcare economy that has deflation.
35 million. That used to, in a quarter, you used to do 10 times that in a quarter. I mean, this was a multi-billion-dollar. Sad that so many people, but no. Anyway, we will never see those ads again. But those were so much better than a lot of the ones.
There could be even better ads to come.
We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, David Ricks, thank you.
Thanks for having me on.
You're very welcome. We hope to see you whenever you report earnings. It'd be great to be able to talk about all these things. Thank you.